Hi friends, we're back. As you can see, we're playing more Spellbreak today, and there's a reason for it. And that is, there's a little bit of news about Spellbreak over the last couple days. I also just had a lot of other stuff going on this afternoon and didn't get a thumbnail for another video made, and I already have a bunch of thumbnails, and it's just easier for me mentally also with everything else I've got going on to play Spellbreak than it is to play some of the other games that we've been playing on the channel. So we'll continue playing other games too, but as we've talked about the last couple streams, probably gonna pare back our schedule a little bit, reduce it down to like probably 3 days a week streaming, I think, and three maybe, and like possible like a bonus stream on the weekend or something like that. And then probably at least 2 of those main streams are going to be Spellbreak streams, and then we'll rotate in other games in and out. And that's so we can, or that I can spend a little more time on those other days devoting, rather than devoting like 2.5, 3 hours to streaming, I can focus during that time on getting some more edited content out for the channel. Can't talk. It's already late in the day. We're a little bit later than we usually are, but that's okay. I got my badge. This was the unlock for the chapter quest this week, but I like these fists. So we'll get into the news in a sec. Might as well check out the shop. This is new. It's actually pretty cute. I won't buy it right now, but I probably will buy it. Emotes are expensive though. 500 gold for an emote. I feel like emote should be, unless it's like a dance or something like more intricate, I feel like it should be like 200 or 300 gold. But anyways, this Black Knight is back in the shop. It's a legendary outfit. I think it's only been in the shop once before. Or if it was in twice, it was like twice in the same week when it first came out. Pretty cool. I've not purchased that. A lot of really dark outfits. This, actually, I think this is the thumbnail we ended up using today, so appropriate that is back in the shop today. I like this one too. Tundra, I like that one. I own that. This one is beefy. It's thick. I like that too, actually, though. Slow clap. So I did finish off stream over the last couple days. I did finish some of the quests that we were doing. Odd actually that my daily quest didn't reset. So they have been resetting. Maybe they still are doing that weird 24-hour thing. I'm not sure. It seemed like they weren't, but who knows? So I finished all my daily quests, and I finished the weekly story quests. So interestingly, and Jesse, the design director from Proletariat, who's been doing like Tuesday night cozy streams on his Twitch channel, mentioned this, is that the dialogue at the end of this week's was we'd actually already heard before. So there was some bug in the order that the story dialogues were released, and you know, the one that's been seared into all of our brains at the beginning of the chapter from Blackthorn here, where you breakers are good for something after all, that one. So that was again the exact same one that we heard before was the story this week. So that's actually okay. So that's one of the ones in the Arcane Gauntlet video that I'm working on. That one was actually pretty key, I think. So I'm okay that it came back. But let's get into a little bit of the other news. So some of that news also came from Jesse's stream on Tuesday, in that he did a little bit of a leak about some gameplay changes coming, and some like things that are gonna switch up the meta of the game a little bit. And what that leak was is, so he on that stream has been asking Holobot questions that he comes up with, and a lot of them are based around like trivia about like the game in its earlier stages, like during alpha and beta, which is actually kind of hard for someone like me who wasn't around then. I only found this game a couple days before the official launch in September. So, and there some for part of the alpha and beta, even people who were playing the game were under an NDA, I think, and weren't allowed to make video or other content about it. So some of it you gotta do a little sleuthing, look through old patch notes, look through old Reddit threads, that type of thing to find the answers to. But okay, we'll try to get to the end of the story. So the last question of the night on Tuesday was, what is the point cost of the most expensive talent in the game? So the talents are these things that you select for your build. You'll see here, currently, the most expensive talent is 3 points. But when everyone that was watching the stream went to Holobot and tried to put in 3, they got that was the wrong answer. So then folks started guessing higher numbers, and the correct answer to the question was 4. So that means, I mean, what we can assume that means is that either new talents are coming that are very powerful and worth 4 points. Since you'll see at the top there, you only get 6 points to choose from. And so right now, like, you can either do a 2-2-2 build, you can do a 3-2-1 build. You could pick like a 3 and a 3 and then not run a third talent, but then you're kind of trading things off. Well, if there's a 4 talent, it's basically going to force folks to either run a 4-1-1. So usually the 1 point skills are a little less valuable. They don't do as much, or they're not as game changing, maybe meta changing. So a lot of discussion during chapter 1 here over the last, let's see, we're like 9 weeks into it or so. This is the 10th week. Is that right here, fervor is too powerful. And you basically, especially in more competitive lobbies, definitely in the competitive tournaments that get run by Element and scrims, that you pretty much, if you're not running fervor, it's really hard to be competitive because so many people are running fervor that basically it becomes like a damage per second check. And because fervor increases the damage you can do over time, like, it basically becomes a requirement. So a lot of folks in the community hoping that that fervor will either be nerfed in some way, made less powerful by maybe bringing down that spellcast speed, or this is another option now. Maybe fervor is going to go to 4 points. The other thing I've similar that's kind of like become a big part of the meta. I don't think it would go to 4 points, but focus mana here also increases spell damage by 15%. So very popular, especially in competitive lobbies. I run it on some of my builds. I usually run it on my Frost build. I usually run it on my Tempest Fire build that I play a lot. Maybe this would go up in cost, or maybe they'd nerf that down too. Those are the two that the community's been kind of complaining about, but definitely way more fervor than focus mana. But something that would do is really kind of increase the time to kill, the amount of time that like an average engagement combat, like a one-on-one or 3v3 would go on. So make it more strategic and not just like damage per second or damage over time kind of check, where if everybody has to run. It's almost like nuclear proliferation and armistice. Like everyone is armed to the teeth with fervor, and they have to be because everyone else is running fervor. So hopefully this could take some wind out of that sail, or I don't know what I want to say there, but interesting. Also interesting just to think about the possibilities of what other 4-point talents they might have. And I don't necessarily have any big ideas of what possible future talents could be. That's not that part of of like gaming and the meta is interesting to me for sure, but I don't know that my brain always works in that way, so I don't have any grand insight or theories on what they might be adding. I am excited for it, and definitely excited for things to shift a little bit. I think that there's probably gonna be a lot of other meta changes. I would personally love to see ambidextrous here taken down to 2 points. I think it would be used a lot more. I think it's really powerful, but especially because of this current fervor meta, it's not really feasible to run it, because you can run actually I did do some, I think Marcus came up with that build and posted a video about it, and I did some playthroughs on the channel with it too, with ambidextrous and then fervor, I think. But then that's your full 6 points. So even that build wouldn't be possible if they're taking fervor up to 4 points. But interesting. The other interesting thing that just happened this afternoon, and we'll switch. I set up something super fancy here. You'll see. Oh my gosh, you're going to be blown away. Is this. So they sent out a survey. They emailed, I think, people that have Spellbreak accounts, and then they posted it on Reddit and encouraged people to share it with other people who play the game to get everybody's feedback. And this was one of the questions. What other genre or modes would you be most interested in seeing added to Spellbreak? Select no more than 3. So choices here: tournaments and elements, or elimination rounds, similar to like Fall Guys, where you start with a big number of people, you go through a round, it falls off, there's less and less people at the end, and only one ultimate winner. Capture the flag. I think everyone's probably familiar with that one. King of the Hill. So that's usually where you're like trying to capture an area, and one person gets control of that area, and then everyone else in the mode is trying to take control of it. more of an action RPG mode, similar to something like Diablo or Path of Exile. That's actually very interesting. There's a couple of these though. We'll talk about more later. Let's go through them all and then we'll discuss though. Okay, so looter shooter, co-op, player versus environment, PvE, similar to something like Destiny. Single player RPG, a survival or horde PvE mode like Gears of War, or that also sounds kind of similar maybe to like what the original Fortnite's what is it, Save the World or something like that mode was, which was the original mode that Fortnite launched with before they came up with Battle Royale. Vehicles and racing, that one seems like an odd one. There has been there was a community event through Element, actually. They were doing like a Winter Olympics, and they did everybody had to race on ice trails with alacrity across the map. Or you could also do like racing with flight through obstacles or something. That seems more like something that would be like an LTM, like a silly, frivolous kind of throwaway mode. But again, we'll go into discussing more of that stuff in a bit. But Control Point, similar to Team Fortress 2. I'm not super familiar with Team Fortress 2. I tried to watch a couple quick videos when I saw this, try to get like the gist of it. It sounds kind of to me similar to like I played the Square Enix Marvel Avengers game, and there's some control point type things in that, or maybe like the Overwatch modes where you have to, there's like a spot on the map where you have to like keep the enemy from getting it, like taking control of it. That's the gist of what I think that is. But correct me if I'm wrong if you're in the comments or if you're watching live. Next, choice-driven narrative. So that again sounds something more like almost like a BioWare style Mass Effect, Knights of the Old Republic type thing. Or I guess it could also be like more like I associate more with like those dating simulator games where it's like more you like almost like an interactive novel type experience, where you're making choices and there's like story branches. Juggernaut, which is a 4v1, so one person has to try to fight off 4 other people. And then PvP hero shooter, something like Overwatch, basically, or I think Apex Legends, I think, is also a hero shooter. I'm not super familiar with Apex, but I know it's a popular game. Finally, none of the above. And I actually, so I'm still mulling this over. I started the survey, but I didn't finish it because I'm still haven't totally decided. But a few things. So I saw some Reddit threads on this. Some people saying like, man, if they're just thinking about future game modes now, like it might be a while, but I don't think that's true. So just we'll discuss game modes and Spellbreak in general. I think the developers, like everyone from the CEO Seth to the community people to Dan Ogles and Jesse Kurlanchink that we talked about earlier, those are some of the, well, Jesse, Dan, and Seth for sure are some of the like core higher up people at the company. They've all mentioned that they've been doing playtesting of new game modes already, so they wouldn't be asking questions like this if they like if that was to inform what they were going to work on for just any new game mode coming to the game. Now we know that leagues and ranked is coming, but we don't know if that involves a new mode or not. That could just be on top of Battle Royale. which I think is what something like, I actually don't totally know how Fortnite's ranked mode, but I think that it's just Battle Royale, or maybe an arena mode. I'm not sure, but anyways. So I think whatever of the game modes, and it has been plural, like they've specifically said they're testing multiple game modes, play testing multiple game modes internally. So I think that they've also said that they do plan to rotate out modes. So some of these new modes that are coming might be limited time or LTM. I think if any of those that they're already working on are kind of included in any of this, it would probably be like things that are already working. If it's included on this list here that we're looking at, it would be tournaments and elimination rounds, capture the flag, king of the hill, and control point. Those seem like the most likely if what's coming isn't like an arena mode or some other mode. 3v3 arena is what the community has been asking for a lot, and it is notably absent from this list, which makes me think it's a possibility that that is one of the modes that they're working on releasing, and that's not included here, maybe. But I think those four are most likely either they've done some testing but haven't fully worked on it. I'm got a little bit all over the place here with my thoughts, but I thought about this. I didn't like totally outline it and write down points, but I did respond on a Reddit thread, so maybe I should just read that. But I do think that if those four that I mentioned there, tournament elimination rounds, capture the flag, king of the hill, and probably control point, if those are some of the things that they've already developed internally and they're getting ready to release and they're included here, like they're only included here because they maybe want feedback on what people are most interested in so they can release that first. And just like if they're gonna release one as a main mode and maybe just rotate, like who knows, maybe they even rotate Clash out of the game for a while and put something else in, maybe whatever. If one of the modes they're already playtesting is on this list, then maybe, but doesn't get a lot of votes, then maybe that would just be an LTM mode, or who knows. There's a few things here, though, I'll say that are definitely would be more the type of thing that would be like a way long term. Like they're putting feelers out to see what the community is saying they really want, so they could make a decision that if long term they should do this with the game. And I think those are like obviously and definitely an action RPG, which is basically either a single player mode or a co-op mode with a bunch of PvE elements like Diablo. A looter shooter like Destiny, which is also says PvE there. Choice driven narrative. Survival horde PvE, single player RPG. Seth, the CEO specifically before, has said that like any kind of PvE mode is a huge endeavor that would take a long time. So I think any of those coming would be a long ways out, and I don't think we would ever wait for any new game mode to come to the game before that happened. But pretty interesting stuff. What I was thinking about, so you can only pick 3, which makes it hard. Gosh, like If I was gonna pick 3, I would probably pick tournaments, elimination rounds, which it says Fall Guys there, but think of that inside of Spellbreak. So I don't think it would be like, it would probably be like elimination brackets, and then those people face off against each other. Those people face off against the winners of that, face off against each other, that type of thing. And if you lose, you're out for the entirety of it. I think that's actually pretty interesting. There's not any outside of Fall Guys. I don't know that there's any other games that are super popular that I know that are doing that. Other than just like, if you think of just Battle Royale as that, but I think likely, I think something like that, they could probably get away with having a larger initial lobby size, because a lot of people are going to end up getting kicked out in the first round and then re-queue. Also interesting how something like that would scale to not scale really, but work with the competitive part of the community. So things like the element tournaments, like a bracketed round of that would be super interesting, and it would be nice to have that built into the game rather than something that they are kind of trying to create on their own through their own scoring system and just queue sniping that they're doing now. So I think I would check that one. I think I would check Capture the Flag. I played in, I mean, this is way back in the day, an old like Unreal Tournament 2003. I played a lot of Capture the Flag in that. And I do also know, I mean, it's a totally different audience, but Rec Room is pretty popular with younger kids. And there's a Capture the Flag mode in that with kind of like, what is it? It's kind of like squirt guns or paintball type thing. So that could be interesting. The third one is where it gets really tough. Because like, honestly, I played like a very tiny bit of Destiny, so that's probably out of it. And you know, I mentioned I don't really even know that much about Team Fortress 2 and Control Point. But the rest of these all sound interesting to me. Like, I love Diablo games. I don't know. They had one of the original ideas for Spellbreak was to make it more like a roguelite or roguelike. I think both of those are correct, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. Where it's kind of random procedural generated dungeons with lots of like AI enemies. I think the combat system in Spellbreak and all the elemental combinations and stuff would be pretty interesting with that. I mean, action RPGs are one of my like favorite genres, honestly. I don't really totally know like what they mean in terms of like single player RPG versus action RPG, because I'd have a tough time imagining how they would adapt the game to something that was just a single player RPG. And I also don't really totally know what the difference between that and like where they say on the other side, their choice driven narrative. Like those sound like a very similar genre of game to me. Unless by choice driven narrative, they really do mean dating simulator. In which case, I think they need to diversify their character models. I think that anyways, but definitely true if it's going to be a dating simulator inside of Spellbreak. Survival horde PvE. I mean, that could be fun. It kind of to me seems like it would be an LTM mode, like a limited time mode. I also could kind of see how it could possibly be something that was a little bit like roguelike, where there's just like endless. In roguelikes, you're like moving between rooms, but or environments sometimes, but there's always just like a horde of enemies in those environments, right? Vehicle racing, like I said, like I feel like that would just be an LTM mode. Not really sure how they could bring vehicles into the game unless they were making like magical mounts. I guess you could have like a magical chariot or something like that, but I think mounts would be cooler. Ride dragons or something. Or like be able to steer your cloud burst through the sky and just fly really fast or something. Control point, like I said, I don't know that much about that. Juggernaut doesn't seem that fun to me. Like a 4v1. I mean, that happens sometimes to me in Clash and in Clash and in Battle Royale sometimes, but mostly in Clash, like when my team is separated, or like in Battle Royale, I guess when your entire team goes down and you're stuck going against an entire squad by yourself. PvP hero shooter. I feel like this would be, it would require a pretty big change to the game. Like something we can, okay, so this is the last one we're gonna discuss. We'll go back and while I discuss that one, we'll look at some stuff. We'll look at different skins and stuff in the collection. But I did want to point out this survey is open to anyone to take, and the developers encourage everyone to share it with anyone they know that plays. So definitely definitely. Oh, I feel bad. I was looking at this list and I missed someone in chat asking a question. That's a bummer. I don't always have people in chat. Oh, I'm sorry, Nothing Games. I usually stream at 2 or 3 p.m. Pacific time during the week, but it depends. I'm a little late today. And sorry I missed your question. I had it off. I had chat off screen. I don't have multiple monitors. So okay. So the URL is up there in the upper right. Definitely go check it out. Answer. And let's conceptualize what something like a PvP, sorry, player versus player, hero shooter, something like Overwatch, how that would work instead of Spellbreak, by going back to our game and, oops, not emote, look at our player outfits. So what they could do was, some of the characters in the game have unique identities already, right? So like, let's say theoretically they were going to come out with a plant gauntlet in class. They could make this character the Druidess of the Old Faith, or the other druid character that I don't have but has been for sale in the shop, available. It just seems like it'd be such a big change to the game though. And then the way that all those work is each character has its own specific ability. So let's say there's a plant ability that or something like that would only go to this. So I don't know how it work. Like, would certain heroes get certain gauntlet and rune and talent builds basically, and those would all be preset, and then you would select the character based on the build. That's kind of the only way that I think about it. I mean, they have some really interesting characters. I think they run into a problem when so many of them are pretty obviously just reskins of the same character model. Like, that's the same character as that with different hair. Then there's like 5 different characters that have this basic hair and outfit, which is just so different from something like Overwatch, where there's like really, really specifically unique character design for each hero. This Death Dealer and something like the Keymaster are probably, and the Hollow and the Baron are pretty close to each other character design wise. I actually think the Baron is really just a reskinned Hollow with a different head. I don't have a Hollow to show you, but but something to think about. I think it could be interesting. I don't know that it'd be my first choice. It also just seems like if that would take so much of the developer's attention away from the rest of the game and like the game modes that they've already put time into. And it just feels like it feels like, one, it's too similar to other things. Like, I would love whatever new game mode like hopefully pops off and becomes a hit for the game. Like, I hope that would be something unique and really give the game its own unique identity and playstyle. I mean, it already is so unique in so many ways, right? But I mean, like, this character, there's very interesting cast of characters. I do also, if we look at, let's look at the chapters rewards. I think they did a good job. I mean, like, I can actually look at this and see that this is their, I'm pretty sure this is their Asian character, female character with no hair. But they could change that. I mean, that's mostly a head swab. Like, this is their same generic male character that they always use, but with a wig. I don't know. I feel like what is it? This one is pretty unique. This one is definitely pretty unique, but that's mostly like the mask or helmet. I don't know. I think it could work, but again, I just worry that it would make the game too similar to other games. Making sure I have crossplay on here. We are gonna dive into Clash. Can continue mulling things over here. Start off on Tempest. I think that's what I selected anyways. super interesting though. Definitely go fill out the survey. Again, the URL playspellbreak.com/survey. Or check your email, because if you have a game account, I think they email probably everybody that has an account. So I don't know what, if they take fervor up to 4 points, I don't know what I would do with this this win build that I'm doing. Now, I actually don't necessarily rely on fervor that much in this build, I don't think. I guess I'm still getting fervor on my fireballs. I don't wind spam that much. I use the wind spams more just to kind of finish people off. I tend to do a tornado, do a firewall through it to draw people in and then get damage off the firewall. And that's how I do a big chunk of my damage. And then at the end there, I, like, once they're low, I will wind spam. But usually at that point they're like kind of one shot, so I don't know that fervor would necessarily affect that much. I am always throwing fireballs still in this build, but I don't know how much fervor is necessarily, I don't know that I'm throwing them fast enough that fervor is making too much of a difference. I mean, it's making some of a difference, but I'm relying way more on the squall damage than I am on the squall damage buff that you get for my fireballs and stuff than I am on fervor, I think. But obviously it's like, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It all adds up. I probably should have landed closer to Halcyon to complete that other quest. Since we started later, I don't remember what time I played yesterday. Try to backtrack here. I think I streamed from like 3 to 5, and then just played a couple games after that. Oh, nice. Epic win right off the bat. And a gold belt. That was a very useful little mana vault. What's my favorite guns? Hey, Nothing Games, you came back. Hey, what's up? Sorry. I had my chat off screen when you asked a question before. So I usually stream 2 or 3 p.m. Pacific time. I'm thinking about switching on my schedule a little bit. Right now I've been doing Spellbreak Monday, Tuesday, Friday usually. I switched to doing a Spellbreak stream today instead of like a variety stream or something that I usually do on Thursdays because of the survey and stuff that came out about game modes. My favorite to play with wind, my favorite offhand gauntlet with wind is definitely fire. I have the most practice in with fire, but so I'm just used to fire damage, but I like doing what I showed in the lobby if you saw it, and if not, once I, oh, here, great, here's a fire gauntlet. I can show you as soon as that charges up on the sorcery. But so once you, with wind, once you get to the third circle, you get that squall damage. So you get 20% buff to all damage, including your offhand gauntlet. So I like to, when you're in the air. So I like to throw it on a tornado and then throw it on a firewall. So tornado sucks people in, firewall does damage. And if you pop that off when you're in the air, you get that 20% damage to everything. So that's what I like to do. There's a lot of people that like to run Frost with Tempest as Frost offhand, and then they launch up in the air with Updraft and then charge up a Frost. That's pretty hard. So I'm on console. I'm playing on PlayStation. So that's pretty hard for me to do. Just, I don't have the flick aim with Frost that PC players have, so I think most of the people playing that build are PC. Need some boots still. There's some boots. Not the greatest ones, though. Getting zapped here in the back. Oh. Man, that was like a whole squad. No, I think you get squall damage on both gauntlets, so... Yeah, it just says all spell damage. So, oh, you are right maybe that I'm not getting it on, it says spell damage. So I'm not getting on my sorcery. So probably not getting on the firewall there. But you do still get on your fireballs. Pretty sure. Do we have squall? We can... How could we check? We can try to hit someone with a fireball. So that did 40. We'll check again once we get squall. And hopefully we don't upgrade our gauntlet or anything. I could check once I'm out of the match too. I could maybe check on like the Spellbreak wiki or something, but I'm like pretty sure. Because even I was watching Tacos. I don't know if you know who they are. They stream on Twitch. And they have a YouTube channel too. But they were playing with Marcus, aka Apostle, who has a YouTube channel. And he was talking about Squall and Squall fireballs with like a glass cannon build, I think. So. There's a better fire, but I'm gonna leave it so it doesn't screw up our test. Oh, we already got Squall. Okay, so let's go find someone else. Hit him with a fireball to check. I didn't see it. Come on, come on. Gotta hit him with a full fireball. I can't just... 46. So that seems... It seems right? It didn't change gauntlets. But the damage went up. Not a huge difference. But I'm running Fervor too, so, you know, hopefully hit a few fireballs. Interesting though, I didn't realize, I was thinking it was to everything. I didn't notice that spell versus sorcery thing. I'm not gonna catch up to them running. Without runic fluency, I don't have that much mobility. Like for long distance, but... Are you new to playing Spellbreak? Nothing? Or what do you like to play? Like, what are your favorite gauntlets? Ooh, legendary fire. I'll definitely take that. Oops. No. I was reading. Oh, I'm gonna die here. Why are they just reading? And why are my teammates not hurting them? Ouch. Yeah, your favorite gauntlet is toxic because it reminds you of a shotgun? Yeah. I like toxic. I haven't played it as much. So I'm not very, I wouldn't say I'm very good with toxic. I play it as my offhand actually a lot. So my main, in Clash, I've been trying different builds and trying to get better at Tempest and Frost. But I've been playing everything lately to try to level everything up, but I haven't played a ton of Toxic, the class. But my favorite thing to run in Battle Royale is Pyro with Toxic offhand. But I'm mainly just using the clouds to blow up, like with Dragonfire. But I do like when I do run Toxic, I like that it's like a shotgun. I sometimes have a hard time getting up close to people to make that super effective, but it's pretty interesting for being like a shotgun too. It makes it, since it has like a very unique spray pattern, and when you're playing the Toxic class, like the puddles really kind of change things. That's what I like so much about this game though. It's like kind of similar things to some other games, but like everything just has this really unique twist on it. And then all like the talents and skills and stuff also just make it so there's so much progression during matches. They got away with their flight. Are you doing the chapter pass? Nothing? Or are you just playing? It's kind of late. If you just started playing 2 weeks ago, it's a little late maybe, unless you're playing a lot, to level up all the levels in the chapter pass. Depends how much you're playing though. took me like a month and a half, I think, playing a couple hours a day. But you could still get some, even if you don't get all the way to the end, you could still get, there's a lot of cool skins and cosmetics and stuff. It's still a good deal, I think. Trying to DF that person. DF NATO, I guess. Which is toxic and fire in a tornado makes that huge explosion. That's fun. There's some people that there's like a, what is it, spell slinger talent where you can swap gauntlets. So some people run a wind, fire, and toxic gauntlet and then switch between so they can make those Dragon Force fire tornadoes. That's pretty hard though. That's above my skill level, I think. It would be fun to try. Need to hit one more thing on this person. I'm gonna, yeah, go down again. Not really focusing on the chapter pass. Trying to get better at the game. Yeah, that's good. One of my, definitely, if you're not playing this Clash game mode, definitely suggest playing this. Since you respawn, you get so much more practice in than you do in something like Battle Royale. Battle Royale is fun, especially if you like Battle Royales. It's like really, this is a really unique one, but if you're trying to learn all the combat and learn all the elements and stuff, this Clash mode where you respawn with all your loot, you get like so much more practice in. Like, I'm not really, I do it for like quests and challenges and stuff, but other than that, man, there's so much lightning in here. I'm just getting melted. Like, I'm not really comfortable, I don't think, enough yet to like regularly run. Maybe Tempest, I'm getting there. I feel like I'm getting there. I don't know, we'll see how, we'll see what happens to Fervor. Maybe I should try running without Fervor and see how much that really affects what I'm doing. I don't think it's affecting too much on my fireball stuff, but maybe it is and I just don't realize. Ouch. Oh, I didn't see the final score because I hit my rune button at the last second. Battle Royale is really hard. You haven't gotten a win yet? Yeah, Battle Royale is really hard. So I started playing this game right when it launched in September, and there was only Battle Royale and squads then. There was not even solo, I don't think. Was there? I don't remember. I might be wrong on that. But I think, no, I think I'm right. I think it launched, it was just squads and Battle Royale for like a week or two. And then they added solos, and then a few weeks later they added duos. And it took me, I have horrible stats in this game because I honestly mostly play Clash. I think it's funner. It's a lot more combat and it's more casual, and I'm not a super competitive gamer. So like my stats are pretty bad. And the reason for that is that it took me 300 games of Battle Royale to get my first win outside of like the first one. So the very first match, they make it a little easy for you to get that win, or make it easier. But after that, and at the time right now, since you just started the game, there's no, we'll play a Frost game for fun. I usually play at least one Frost game every day. I spent a long time in Clash through the whole like prologue version, like it was like a month and a half of the game or something like that. I mostly played Frost, and then even though I'm trying to level up the other stuff, I don't want to lose my Frost aim ability, so I do a match or two most days to kind of keep it fresh. But so there was no matchmaking when the game launched at all, so it's like you're going right up against all the streamers, all the PC players, all the actually I'm on console, so I think things were split then, so I was only playing against Xbox and PlayStation, but it's still going against all the people who've been playing in alpha and I think beta. So they'd been playing the game for like a year or more. So it was tough. But when I finally got that win, I was super excited. Because it really felt like I earned it. I don't know if you're on console or PC, but if you're on console, you can also turn off crossplay, and you'll get a little bit lower player population in your lobbies. Maybe you only get like, depending on the time of day, like 7 to 10 people in a solo lobby, and the rest is filled with bots. But I tend to find that those are a little bit easier than the crossplay lobbies. Do I have any tips on getting better at the game? Well, practice is super important, so definitely keep doing that. You said you like to play Toxic, so do you know about all the like what runes do you like to run? What offhand do you like to run with Toxic? I can try to give you some advice on what you could run that might help, and also maybe some like talent. Let me know what talents you like running and stuff too with Toxic, and I can try to help you come up with a build that might be good. Give you some tips. But practice is super important. Toxic, the play style is like very up close in people's faces, since it's kind of that shotgun thing, so the damage falls off if you don't hit all your shotgun pellets or your toxic spray pellets or whatever. Invis is pretty important with Toxic, so definitely either it's actually hard to practice this in Clash, so I would suggest maybe going into the practice lobby and trying this, but you want to get really good at going into your in the practice lobby. There's like one of the like yellow orb things that levels you up, so level yourself up until you get Vanishing Mist, which I think is 2, and you probably also actually just want to level yourself all the way up to 4 so you get the multiple clouds, and then practice moving around and clouding yourself and then like dashing forward towards people. You could also, if you're not yet, the Shadow Step rune is really useful for Toxic because you still get that outbreak damage buff of 75% with your Toxic Gauntlet when you're invisible, and that counts whether you're using the invisibility rune, whether you're whether you invis with Shadow Step or invis from your clouds from Vanishing Mist. You play Shadow Step or invis. Your brother said you do more damage. Yeah. Yeah, your brother's right. If you definitely suggest watching videos. I think I mentioned earlier, Marcus, aka Apostle, has a bunch of guides. He doesn't always play Toxic, but he sometimes plays Toxic. And I'm pretty sure he has a good guide on it. I actually really like, I don't think they posted videos lately, but I think the videos are all pretty much still, they're from like launch time in September, but they're all pretty much still the same. But I think it's IMHAP, I'm Hap, has a bunch of guides for the different gauntlets and stuff. I like their stuff. I watched all those when I first started playing the game. I don't think they're making any more new videos, but if you want to watch, there's some streamers and competitive. If you don't know about Element, they have a YouTube channel, or they stream tournaments and competitive events on Twitch, and then they usually post the videos here on YouTube too. But Element SB, that's the competitive thing, so that's fun to watch too. You can see all the like super high-end competitive players. Quite a few of them play Toxic too. Gotta warm up our frost shot here. Well, it's a little rough, and we're getting snaked down too. Try to hide here for a sec. Ooh. You're playing on Nintendo Switch. Oh yeah. Nintendo Switch is hard for this game because it runs kind of slow. So I don't know if maybe your big brother has PlayStation or Xbox. Ask them if you can play on there. It is easier to play when it's not running so slow. Frost is not happening against this person. And getting like 3 or 4 people on me at once. Yeah, I like the I have a Switch too. I've only played this game on it a couple times. Since I have a PS5, it runs a lot better on PS5 than it does on even PS4. But I really like the motion controls, the gyro aiming on Switch. I wish they would bring that to PlayStation. They said they were like thinking about it, but there was some frost shots finally. This took a while. Man, I hit right on the edge of that building instead of hitting hitting him. Ouch, ouch. Yeah, If you can play on PlayStation, try it on there. It might be a little easier for you. You do lose out on that motion control, but the cool thing about this game too is since it's like cross progression, you just sign in with your same account that you use for Switch. You made like a Spellbreak account when you first signed up, and oh my goodness, these people here. I need to just like get away from them. It's useful for Frost to just run sometimes. They are chasing me though. Okay, I think it's down to just one. That's more manageable. Oh, my goodness. But when you log in with that Spellbreak account, like everything, all your stuff is there. Anything you level up, like any gauntlets or anything you level up, is all there. Shoot. I don't want to die. Oh, that's so close. Oh, someone's sniping me over and over and over again here. I think it's like the third or fourth time Can you link your Nintendo account to your bro's PS4? So you can't link your Nintendo account, but when you first played Spellbreak, you had to make a Spellbreak account. So whatever email and password you use for that, when you play on PlayStation, I think on PlayStation you'd have to like make a new user account on your brother's PlayStation if you don't have one on there already, and then you would sign in under that PlayStation account into the Spellbreak account when you first launch Spellbreak there, and all your stuff will be there. Any skins you bought or any gold that you bought on like that you paid for on Switch won't show up there, but any gold you earned like from doing daily quests and stuff, yeah, you meant to say your Spellbreak account. Yeah, so you just sign in with your Spellbreak account. That was a really crummy game. I usually get like 9 or 10 exiles on Frost Clash games, not 2, but I think right now a lot of people are trying to, oh, my daily quest just reset and now I need to play more Frost, it says. Let's look at what our daily quests are. Open 15 chests, escape for 20 seconds, finish 2 battle royale matches in the top 15 as pyromancer. Okay, well that last one's pretty doable. And ice skating is pretty doable, for sure. So we'll play some battle royale. Do I want to play solos or do I want to play squads? We'll play, what did I select? Squads. So we'll play Pyromancer, since we haven't played any of that yet. And that's my favorite thing to run in Battle Royale. So I usually use this Toxic Offhand throw it on your cloud and then blow it up. And that does extra damage when it's that green dragon fire. And then you can also, if people put down water, then you can make toxic puddles if there's water on the ground, or they steam too, I think. And then you can light that on fire, and then that green fire does extra damage too. Or if you put down your fire wall and you throw toxic at it, that does extra damage. I think this ticks for 26 damage per second usually, depending what rarity gauntlet you have and stuff. So one thing, if you're running toxic and you're going in your clouds to become invisible, you got to be careful of people blowing them up with that fire though, because a lot of people, if you're going against a pyromancer, for sure, but even if they're just running, oh shoot, I was thinking I was running Clash, and I selected a different bubble from my squad mate. And we're already only 2 in a squad lobby, so that's gonna be rough anyways. Try to get over here to them. They're pretty far. Not too bad, I guess, but hopefully no other teams landed near them or landed in between us. Wind offhand is not very good, usually. If you were running like ambidextrous or something like that, the talent ambidextrous, it might be more useful because then you get like you'd get the ability to do the wind jumping and stuff, which gives you a lot of mobility. So you can move around faster, climb up walls, and do all that fun stuff. But, oh, we got some good stuff here. We're just off drop. Switch to Shadow Step. My favorite rune on most things is Spring Step. I used to run a lot of Shadow Step when it first came. When they took it out of the game for a while and then they put it back in. So I used to run a lot of Shadow Step. Oh no, my teammate. Where are they? Oh shoot. They got thirsted. No. Oh man. This is not gonna go well. It's all 3 of them. Wow. That didn't go very well. We'll try again. We did make top 11 though, so we did get it's pretty easy to get those. Actually, I think, yeah, if you are playing squads at all, those top 15 ones, even if you get eliminated first, you end up getting them. Okay, we'll try this again. Hopefully this time we get a full squad. And I will make sure that I don't accidentally click a different bubble and separate. It's important in squads to stay with your team. Because, like, if you run into another team and you're off by yourself, you're just gonna get wiped out. Okay, we got a full team. I think we actually, though, when we were in the lobby before, we had a full team. Someone must have disconnected at the last second or something. I don't have any runes. I'll just run away. What talents do I recommend with Toxic? Well, so this runic fluency one that I am running is really good, especially with Shadow Step, since Shadow Step has a little bit of a longer cooldown than like Dash or Spring Step. So that one lets you keep 2 charges of any rune, of your rune. Some of it depends on what you're playing. So like I'm running Scavenging here. Scavenging isn't really the greatest in squads because you don't get the healing from it until the person like is totally exiled. Like when you just exile them into their orb, you don't get the healing then. So you have to wait until your team takes out the whole rest of the team, or you have to like kind of pause in the middle of the fight and try to thirst the other person. So I don't know that I'd recommend that one. I know a lot of people run Fervor with Toxic. So Fervor lets you, I don't know if you were watching at the beginning part of the stream when we were talking about Fervor, but Fervor lets you cast your spell 15% faster. So with Toxic, that'll let you throw more toxic puddles over time. More toxic, what are they called? Sprays over time, which will increase your damage that you do over time. So a lot of people run that on Toxic. I'd have to look at the talents. After this match, I'll try to remember to look at the talents and we can try to come up with a good build. Did you unlock all of them? So when you first start playing, you have to get all the different classes up to 6 to unlock all the talents. So if you haven't done that, definitely do that. That's also good to learn how all the different gauntlets work and get a little bit of a better idea how to counter them when you face somebody with that gauntlet. Shoot. No rune. Belt. Ouch. No rune and no second gauntlet though. Oh no. Oh no. That was my firewall. So put my firewall down there to try to block their frost shot. I might go down here too though. Oh. Dang. Is that my team? G3 Chaos is one of like... Oh yeah, there's no way I was winning that. So Chaos is one of the like competitive players that plays in tournaments and stuff. So told me to unlock Fortitude. I run into my own toxic puddles too much. Yeah. I have trouble with that too, running. Oh, did I skip ahead? Let's watch. I don't remember what Chaos is running. I didn't see. But let's watch. Maybe they're running Toxic and we can look at their build. They're one of the really good players. I don't usually see them in games. Yeah, Fortitude is useful. A lot of people... Fortitude, not that many people used to run it, but it seems to be getting a lot more popular. I might be accidentally in, like, the competitive scrims here, looking at some of these names. Which I don't want to be, so maybe I'll switch back over to solos instead of squads. Because I'm not that good at the game. Some of these people play like, oh yeah, here. Oh, he's playing Frost with Toxic offhand. Oh, he's down. His teammate is good though too, Death. They're playing Toxic. So they're running Runic Fluency to get that extra rune charge I was talking about. So like if you're running Shadow Step, that'll let you Shadow Step twice in a row. So you could like Shadow Step, hit somebody with Toxic, Shadow Step again, hit him with Toxic again. We'll watch them play. I think it's fun. Oh yeah, this is definitely, looking at all these names here, this is definitely like the competitive scrims. These are the people that like play for like 6-8 hours a day together as a squad and play in all the tournaments against and like play in scrims against other competitive players every day and stuff. So I don't have a chance against them. Oh, they went down actually though. Kimball Prime, they also have a YouTube channel. They're really good too. We'll watch them. They're playing, oh, they're playing Frost. We'll try to watch a Toxic person. It should be Stony. I don't know this person, but so because this is those competitive scrims, they might be running things that might not work that great for someone like, I think they're running, that's Thirsty, I think on the right, on the far right. So that lets you drink potions faster, and then when you're playing squads, if you're close by your squad mates, it also gives them some healing. I think, I forget what the percentage is, but it's like 20 or 25% of, or maybe it's even 50, I don't know, I'd have to look it up, of the healing from whatever potions or shields you take go to your squad mates too. So they might be running that just because they're playing in squads, so they're kind of acting like a healer for their squad. They're running Fortitude. Fortitude is super useful. I think your brother might be right, nothing. Especially if you run into your own Toxic puddles. But Fortitude helps too, like if you're like just running around and get sniped or something like that. Fortitude can be like a lifesaver for sure, because if someone's running like Frost with like focus mana and they have the icicle ability already, like, and like they have a good gauntlet, like they're gonna hit you for like 100 and Fortitude will just like make that go away and you'll still have full health. This match got kind of sleepy here. They all ran out of. They were all in Halcyon when we landed in Halcyon, and then they all left. We'll watch since it's almost to the end, so the circle's gonna start closing and. Whoa. There's a lot going on. Oh, so the other team we were watching before, Kimball. Is just wiping everybody. They all got back up. I think they're just still... There's still 12 people left. I think this is that same team with Kimball Prime we were watching before. It's just like a back and forth. They wipe each other out. Their teammates pick them up. They get wiped out again. Uh-oh, storm is coming. And they're getting frostnite. They're all just gonna try to get away, I think, here. Maybe they're gonna go to this rift. Rifts are hard though in squads because they disappear after one person uses them, and they kind of put you in a random spot in zone. So you all have to, your whole squad has to split up and then try to meet back up in zone. And because you can't move that far when you're back up in the sky like this, I think they actually changed a little bit. So at the beginning of chapter 1, you could like barely move at all. I think they actually toned that down a little bit, and you can move a little bit more now, but it's still not that much. It's not like, you know, like if you've played Fortnite at all. Fortnite, you can like travel across the whole map because you have your glider and stuff. So did they end up together? What are all these dots? There's like all these green markers on my screen. I've never seen that before. Maybe they're adding a spectator mode or something into the game that's better than this. That would be nice, especially for the tournaments and stuff. Yeah, so I'm looking at, while we're just watching here, I started looking at some other, like, toxic players that I know of. And they actually are running this same build that this person is, even in solos. So, Runic to get that double rune usage for more mobility, so you can stay close to people. And then Fortitude, and then Thirsty. So, looked at a few different people that like main toxic, like play a ton of toxic, and that seems to be what most of them are running. But I'm curious about the Thirsty. I didn't know people were running that much really in solos, even in Battle Royale. Thirsty is not, if you're mostly playing like, oh, so this, we'll keep rotating and see who's on the other team. I have a feeling Kimball Prime and their team is going to win this, but there's a couple toxicologists here. Ouch. Yeah, Kimball Prime and then one. Wow. Runic Fluency, Fortitude. What about that last talent? Yeah. Yeah, I'll take a quick look right here. I was going to look. I saw a couple of them. Oh, they're running a lot of... The other thing I'm seeing people running on Toxic as your third talent is either Escapist. So that boosts your run speed. And it boosts it like on top of both like your boots and... yeah, your boots would be the main thing. But also even on like frost trails and stuff, if you're like running on a teammate's frost trails, it'll make you move faster on that. So Escapist, but it's good because it gives you the ability to like get really close to people to like slap them with Toxic and then run away. So Escapist, and it's only a 1-point talent, so that makes it easy to use. The other thing I see people running a lot on that third talent for Toxic is Recklessness. So that might be more like an advanced move though, because that's, I would maybe hold off on Recklessness because that, to run that, you have to have no shields at all, so no belts or no armor, and then it buffs your damage starting at 15% and going up. But I don't know that I'd run that. I'd wait till you get a little more experience before you run that. I would go with maybe Escapist. You could do Recovery. So Recovery helps you regenerate 35% of your damage, and then that starts at 12 seconds, and as you get scrolls and level it up, that time that it takes to regenerate that 35% of your health or the damage that you took goes down. Thirsty lets you drink. That's the one we were talking about with potions. If you're gonna play Clash, I don't know if you're playing mostly Clash, or seems like you are because you said Battle Royale is really hard. So I don't know if that Thirsty is that useful in Clash because there's no healing potions in Clash. Here, let's look. See what else we see here. So Thirsty is not that useful in Clash. Ambidextrous might actually be kind of useful in Clash. Or in Battle Royale. So what that does is it lets you get the level 1 power off of... but see, you couldn't run that with Fortitude because you don't have enough points. So you only get 6 points. So Runic is 2. Fortitude is 2. So you'd need either 2 or a 1. I think that's probably why most of those people I just looked at were running like Escapist or Recklessness, because they're only 1, or Thirsty is 2. But so I think I don't know if you're here for that part or not, nothing, but at the beginning of this stream, we were talking about one of the developers was saying they're gonna shift some of these talent points around a little bit. So that'll probably happen with chapter 2, which will be like in a month. So what I would suggest doing, definitely run Runic. I think Runic on Toxic is like a must-have almost. I was if you're having trouble getting in your toxic puddles on accident, one, practice not doing that. But then maybe run fortitude just to kind of help yourself. And then I would try the ones we talked about. So try escapist, see if you like being extra like speedy and stealthy and running up to people. You could slap them with toxic and run away. And then give these other ones a try too, recovery and thirsty, and see what works best for you. But one of those would be my suggestion. Thirsty only if you're playing Battle Royale though. I run recovery on as my spirit one for most of my builds. It's they kind of nerfed it a little bit. They made it not as powerful with the chapter 1 update they did, but it's still pretty useful to me. Helps you live longer. It's useful if you're playing mostly Clash. It's useful in Clash since there are no healing potions in Clash. It helps you live a little bit longer, which is useful. So I'm gonna switch over to solos. I'll play probably, let's see, what time is it? I'll play one more solo battle royale match with Pyro, and then I might go back to Clash for a round or two, and then maybe call it a stream. I tend to keep the streams a little bit shorter, usually about the 2-hour mark. I appreciate you being here, Nothing. I don't often have people in chat, and even when I do, they a lot of times don't talk that much, so it's nice to have you here. And it's been fun and interesting to chat and go over all this stuff with you. It's hard when I don't have a lot of people talking in chat and stuff. It's hard to, and I'm a new streamer. I've only been streaming since January. So it's hard to talk to yourself for a long time. Especially for me. I'm kind of like shy and introverted. You're gonna try out different talents, see what works for you. Yeah, I think that's what it's all about. What I didn't see if you said or not. What offhand gauntlet do you like playing with Toxic? So because Toxic is kind of up close, most people, I feel like, kind of suggest that you pick something that has a little bit more range for your offhand. So I see a lot of people running like lightning as your offhand. I do see a lot of people running fire because while you don't have a ton of range, it's pretty good at mid-range. And you can, light your toxic puddles on fire if you want and stuff like that. In a lot of the like more competitive players, I see a lot of them run Frost offhand because, Frost is like the ultimate long range if you're good at it. It's very high damage. You just like having conversations, don't really get to have that with friends anymore because of lockdown. Yeah. Lockdown is rough. I miss my friends too. That's also part of the reason that I started streaming, just put myself out there a little bit more, have some more conversations with people. I do play games with online with some of my friends, which is nice, and talk to them on the like on voice chat or text message, obviously, and like every once in a while with them, we like set up a time to like hang out on like FaceTime or Zoom or something, but it's rough. Lockdown is rough. Hopefully, I hope we're getting close to the end of it though. The vaccine seems like it's ramping up. COVID is definitely rough though. You usually play ice offhand. It's a bit strange, but gyroscope on Nintendo Switch makes it easier. Yeah, that's good. It definitely is one of the more powerful offhands, especially for toxic, I think. It can be good too, because you have that sorcery ability from Frost. Since you're running right up close in people's face, sometimes to like slap them with toxic, you can pop that flash freeze ice sorcery ability, the secondary one, and then freeze them maybe, or slow them down so you can continue hitting them. But you could also freeze yourself on accident. Or slow yourself down. What's the first video game franchise I got into? Well, here's where you're gonna say, wow, this person is really old. Because I am kind of old. It would be like original, very first Super Mario Brothers, probably. I also, when I was little, like arcades were really big. So I played a lot of arcade games. I really like Pac-Man a lot. I was like, of arcade games, that was one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, I'm totally spaced out here talking and didn't realize I landed and I'm in Battle Royale. So hold on one sec here, I gotta fight. Or I'm gonna die again. Okay. We actually did okay though on loot, kind of. We need way better gauntlets and a better room, but could have been worse for us just chatting and randomly looting. I play Clash most of the time because I would say I'm more like a casual player. I really like the game. I kind of know a lot about it because I watch a lot of other streamers and stuff, and watch a lot of YouTube videos. But maybe it's because I'm old. What other games do I like from way back? You probably won't even know most of the games that from when I was little. But I've played. You like Sonic the Hedgehog? Yeah, I love Sonic the Hedgehog too. I really like Nintendo games a lot since that was like the first console I ever had was the NES, the original one. But I actually had a Sega instead of a Super Nintendo. So I played so much Sonic when I was little too. What's your favorite Sonic game? I tried out, what is it called? It was like a more recent one that was like 3D kind of. Sonic Mania maybe? Or is that the one that's like a remake of, and like a remix of a bunch of other ones? This one wasn't that. I forget the name of it. Sonic Forces, I think that's what I played. Where you make your own kind of Sonic-y character. I didn't play a ton of it. I played a few few like levels of it just to kind of get a feel for it. But I liked it. It was cool. Still need a better rune. Yeah, I still play a lot of Mario games. I've been doing on the channel a playthrough of Super Mario Galaxy from the Mario 3D All-Stars that came out a while ago. It's like a collection of Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine from the GameCube, and Super Mario Galaxy from Wii. I've been having fun with that. It's hard. Parts of it are hard though. And I feel like when I'm streaming and playing games, since I've been playing that on stream, I get busy talking. Like right now, I have no idea what's going on in this game. I should look at the circle, see where I'm at. Okay, I'm still in the first circle, so that's bad. I need to get to zone, and I still need a better fire gauntlet. There's a lot of fighting going on over here. I'm a little nervous about it. Just gonna sit here in the corner and read for a sec. I don't know where those people all went. Check out these houses real quick, and then I'll try to head to zone. I'll probably use one of these rifts. I really like these rifts. I'm so glad they added them. How many different games do I plan on streaming? Well, I don't know. So I've been thinking about that. My original idea was play a bunch of different games, and then play Spellbreak like 2 or 3 days a week. Because Spellbreak, if I had to pick one game to play, it'd be Spellbreak. Like I play 2 hours a day of Spellbreak no matter what, pretty much. So this is like a side project for me, like a side project. So I can't devote too much time to it. And I've probably been devoting too much time to it because I've been streaming every day, even on the weekends, and I just don't have that much free time. I want to try to do some more edited videos about Spellbreak and about some other stuff, and I just don't have time to do that when I'm streaming 2 or 3 hours every day. So what I'm probably gonna end up doing is reducing the number of kind of streams to like, ooh, I might die here. Oh, but they're pretty low. Oh no. Try and get away here. Oh. See, scavenging in this case saved me because I killed that other person, and then this person is just gonna still keep trying to snipe me though. Yeah. Okay, I might be quiet here for a sec because I need to concentrate or I'm gonna die. Shoot. Okay, so I got their fortitude off, but then that's about all I did. So my original idea was play Spellbreak 2 or 3 days a week, and then play maybe 2 or 3 other games and kind of do playthroughs of those like 1 day a week and spread them out over time. But I think what I'm going to do instead is do 2 or 3 days of Spellbreak a week, which is what I've been doing, and then maybe just do 1 day a week of other games. Probably Nintendo games, since I have a lot of them that I still need to do playthroughs of anyways, and I'm going to play them on my own, so I might as well play them on stream. But I also, I really love Zelda Breath of the Wild, but I'm pretty much finished it. Played like 200 hours of it, so there's a game that's kind of similar called Immortals Phoenix Rising that came out like in December or November, I think, that I bought. I got it on sale last week. So it's very similar to Breath of the Wild, but it takes place in like Greek mythology kind of times. So I might play that on stream, at least try it out. But if you like Spellbreak, there will definitely be more Spellbreak here. What other games are you playing? Nothing. Other than this and the games that I've been streaming, I'm not streaming at all, but I have been playing this season of Fortnite. But I got to I'm over level 100 now, so I finished all the main unlocks. I was really just trying to get to the level 100 unlock was Star Wars Mandalorian, like the full outfit of armor of it, and then a Baby Yoda. So I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I wanted to get that. I still played a little bit. There's like a couple like bonus, like, they're not separate outfits or skins, but there's a couple different what is it, styles of outfits or skins that I already got that I want to still try to unlock. There's like a robot android kind of one that I want. So I'm finishing quests, I think, just to... Oh, this person is hiding in a bush. We won't watch them. Your favorite Sonic game is Sonic Unleashed. Had it on Xbox 360 and loved it. I've never played that one. I miss seeing that one. Breath of the Wild is kind of like Minecraft. Some of the mechanics are similar. Yeah, it's kind of like a systems-based game is what it's called, I think, where there's like weather systems. And this person is really just still hiding in a bush. I don't want to watch them hide in a bush. I want to watch the person that's... Why won't it let me watch the person that's killing everybody? Well, I guess I'll watch this person. Oh, because that other person that's killing everyone is a bot, I think, because it has... So all the bots in the game have two words that are capitalized in the middle like that. So one person here is a bot out of the 3 left, and one is the one that was hiding in the bush. Yeah, so Breath of the Wild is fun. I had a lot of fun in that game, just like exploring and like be like a random mountain and it looked like maybe there was something cool up at the top of it. So I just like spend a whole bunch of time trying to figure out how I could climb up that mountain, because you kind of only have so much stamina. So you can only climb so far. You can't climb in the rain. So I had a lot of fun with Breath of the Wild. I might even, I don't know. So I didn't actually finish the game. I kind of purposely got right up to where I was like going in the castle at the end and had all, like I have all everything unlocked where I could finish, but I didn't like I didn't like 100% all the different shrines and all that stuff. So I kind of purposely left it open for me to go back to it if I want to sometime. But well, the person you don't, if you want to get better, I'd suggest you not just hide in a bush until the very end and try to attack the Can I add you on Spellbreak or something? You can add me on Spellbreak. So I don't ever play with voice chat on in Spellbreak, but maybe we could play together sometime. And if you want to chat, you know, go ahead, subscribe here, and you're always welcome to come chat and hang out. My Spellbreak ID is right there. It's not my it's not my any of my normal names. It's MACRY 683 pound 9964. That was my old PlayStation ID, which was just kind of, the MACRY is like a name that I've used in like a bunch of RPG games and stuff before, but just kind of McCree. I actually don't know how to pronounce it, even though it's my own name. My own in-game name, but I usually go by Happy Little Rainbows, or for this dedicated gaming channel and stuff, then I go by Happy Little Gamer. But you already subscribed? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Since I'm a new channel, I don't have very many subscribers. So welcome to our Happy Little Gaming community. I appreciate it, I really do. I think I'm gonna log out for the day though, but you're always welcome to come hang out here and chat. Again, I'm probably gonna be switching up the streaming schedule, and I don't for sure know what it is yet. It's still gonna be kind of in the afternoon times, like 2 or 3 p.m. Pacific, and then going for a couple hours. And then on the weekends and stuff, I'm gonna switch it up. Like I already do switch it up. Sometimes do an evening stream. It just depends what I have going on the weekend. But I appreciate you so much for watching, trying to create a happy little gaming community here that's fun, inclusive, supportive, non-toxic, and yeah, we're gonna leave it there for today. Thanks so much for hanging out. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.